Hey guys, I think I know what's going on with my Halo drone. Let's open up the app. Twice now, while in follow, my Halo has returned to home at just over 1,000 feet from the takeoff point. We go in here to the app and we choose the vehicle. Give it a second to update. This page takes a second to update the parameters from the aircraft. You'll notice that my max distance is set at 1,079 feet. That's approximately the distance that Halo RTH'd when I was on the trail from the takeoff point. So my guess is that this distance is the distance you're allowed to get from the takeoff point before Halo will RTH. Now if I come into this parameter, I can set it up to 3,280 feet. Get out of it, go back in to verify that it took, and again you have to wait a second for it to update the parameter, and it took. So what this means is basically you can only go 3,280 feet from the takeoff point before Halo will hit that limit distance and then return to home. I don't see any settings that allow you to change the behavior when Halo hits that maximum distance reached. Now down here you can see RC signal lost, and we have a couple of options. My guess is whatever you set this to is what Halo is going to do when it reaches that maximum distance. Now there is something else here that I noticed, and if we go to the main page, let's get into the camera, it may be easier to see. Over here, if we pick our home point options, we've got one for the takeoff point, one for the tracker, and one for the current position of Halo. So if we choose the track module as our home point, I believe what that means, now I think it's saying failed to update because I don't have the tracker module on. But if I choose that as my home point, that means I believe the maximum distance set will then be 1,080 feet from the track module, not from the takeoff point. And I think that's where my problem came in. Now I hope there would be a firmware update that would allow us to run Halo further than 3,280 feet from the home point. However, I do understand that could be a battery concern where it may not have smart return to home, where it knows how much battery percentage it needs to get back to home. So this might be the safe way of doing it. I think the next time I go out, I'm going to try to set the home point to the track module. At least that way, Halo will come back to where I am and I can get control of it and land it manually. So I'll report back and tell you what I find. But I really do feel that this was my issue on the trail. I don't think Halo lost connection. If you look at the screen recording, I had plenty of RSSI and satellites. I do believe that I hit the maximum distance from the home point and Halo returned to home as the settings indicated. And the documentation on this isn't that good, so we got to kind of fumble through this and figure it out for ourselves.